What is it like being a Jamaican living in Boston, Massachusetts, in the USA? Hi, I'm Xavier Murphy, founder of Jamaicans.com. And today in Jamaicans to the World, I talk to Andrew Sharpe, a Jamaican living in Boston. Andrew, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing good, and the weather is great.
Nice, nice. But I see you in a jacket there. That means it kind of cool, getting cool there.
Right, you got it. Right after September, that's when you know that you have to bring on your, not really jacket, but your fleece, because the temperature is moving to fall weather. So we're talking about 50s in the night and 60s during the day.
How when it dropped below 80 something or whatever, that is cold.
No, for us, it's not bad. 60 degrees is really good for us. That's cool, nice weather.
All right. So, which part of Jamaica you from, Andrew?
Originally Kingston 8, Red Hills, the family is Bolt, so we have on the hill and down below.
So, with the name like Sharp, I'm going to I have to ask: are you in any way related to the great hero of Jamaica, Samuel Sharp?
Absolutely. Well, the Sharps are originally from the UK, and came to Jamaica. So all the Sharps with an E is related. All the Sharps in Jamaica with an E is related.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
And
Is
also I have a relation from my mom's side, which is Bolt. So
okay.
I'm related to the great
Yes,
sprinter
good.
Usain Bolt
Were you a
from my
sprinter?
mother's side.
All right. So, which school you representing from Jamaica?
Calabar, which is where my uncle teaches football and stuff, and I've been there for a little while.
You're on
So
track
I have my Calabar tie that I wear when I'm up here.
there. So you run track? Did you run track there?
Yes, 800-meter long distance runner.
Oh, nice, nice. So the sprinting, the running was in the family then.
Absolutely. And my uncle is the great Lee Craft Bolt, which is the trainer for the girls team for Carifta and many other pen relay and all of that. So big up
Wow.
uncle.
All right. Is there a teacher you remember from Calabar that impacted your life?
Wow, no, not really.
now tell me say you get trouble there now, Andrew, and you not pay attention. Uh, so tell us about your journey to Boston.
Well, the journey to Boston started with my aunt. So my family migrated to the US many years ago. So my mom's sister, who migrated to Massachusetts, actually Cambridge, lived there for over 40 something years. And when we visited, we usually visit her during summertime with mom. And that's how I was able to connect with Massachusetts. When I arrived, her children's father worked at Harvard and she had lived on Putnam. So we came there and, was able to really see how the development of Massachusetts in terms of education with all these universities, Harvard, MIT. And I was very impressed and I was so amazed, not knowing that I would be living in Massachusetts after
How,
visiting for so many times.
how long you living in Massachusetts?
Well, I migrated from 2011.
Okay.
Yeah, I migrated from 2011.
So was it
And
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I said it was a great move because again, I really appreciate Mass. It reminds me so much of England because I have family also living in England and we usually go to England a lot. So Mass was the first place that, the revolution, the first place where the Constitution started. And the cleanliness of the city, and the greenery of the city was something that I like. And also a place where education is big and healthcare is one of the top in the world. It was perfect. It was a perfect move for me.
Okay. Now, in terms of the area, you're in the Boston area. Are
Right.
there a lot of Jamaicans? And I hear that you know everybody. That's what I get. But are there a lot of Jamaicans there?
Oh, yes. I mean, we are, they say Jamaicans everywhere. And I love your program because you highlight Jamaicans all over the world. And the same thing here in Massachusetts. When you go into certain building and you go places, you hear the accent. And I still hold my strong Jamaican accent, although I live over here for so long. So you pick up the accent immediately and say, "What? You're from Jamaica?" And then the census data show that over 55,000 Jamaicans living in Massachusetts out of the 750,000 Caribbean folks living in Massachusetts. Jamaica is the third largest
Okay.
population out of the Caribbean living in Mass. And in Boston, the third largest also living in the
Oh,
city of Boston, because the city of Boston is like the capital of Mass.
right, right. So is there a Caribbean event that everybody kind of flock to every year?
Absolutely. Although we don't highlight ourselves so much, but Boston Carnival has been over 50 years in celebration. There has always been a rivalry between Massachusetts and New York. In many areas. For instance, the subway we beat out New York as being the first subway system in this hemisphere. Um, Carnival was similar. We started right after New York, so New York and Boston is the same. So the Boston Carnival is something I enjoy doing. Like this year, I was doing voters registration at the carnival and healthcare outreach, and I was able to meet so many Caribbean folks from various Caribbean islands with their flag. You identify them by their flags. And
Okay.
yeah, man, I
No,
mean, massive, massive, massive. Thousands of people come out for Boston Carnival.
awesome, awesome. So cost of living. What is the cost of living like in Boston?
Well, Boston economically is great. That's why I'm happy I'm here also, because we are, for the housing, we have surpassed California as the highest cost of housing in the United States because of our tech industry and our medical and university industry. Lots of students stay here rental, so the rental price is high. Economically, the cost of living is high to live here, but I must say the payment and the wages are pretty good in terms of, I mean, I could tell you that our attorney general just passed a law that Uber driver gets $32 an hour with benefits. And we're the only states that's just passed that law for our people. So, and our minimum wage is good. And
Oh,
we have a good tech industry, Google, Microsoft, and all of them are here. Plus those um, pharmaceutical and medical companies are here in Massachusetts. So the income being received is pretty good
good.
to be able
So
to substantiate your
the high
living
cost of living.
costs. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch up on food. What would you say is typical Boston food?
Cod, cod, the cod. So where the cod is the fish, is a fish in New England region. It's like mai mai or tuna, like in the Caribbean. So the cod and a lot of lobster and clam. So you have clam chowder, cod, the fish, and lobster. Seafood is our thing up here
Right.
in New England.
Okay. Where you get your Jamaican fix now? Are you cooking it at home, or you have a special spot that you go to that you get your Jamaican fix?
Absolutely. Well, where there are Jamaicans, there are plenty Jamaican restaurants, but not all of them is, you know, up to that level.
I
So
hear
I'm
you.
very picky in terms of where, but there is a specific one that I love. I mean, Flames is good. Flames I go to, which is good. We used to have Golden Cross, but Golden Cross closed down. But Golden Cross was one of those good ones that we go to also.
Okay.
But for now, I go to Flames in Ashmont, which is good, or Flames in Randolph. Um, that's one of those ones that I go to. And
Okay.
then we have in different areas. So for instance, when I go Worcester, I go to Arita's Kitchen, which is originally Jamaican. They're in Worcester, which is another city out. I would say that's like the third major city for Jamaicans in mass.
Okay. Nice. Nice. Now, you've been there quite a few years. What is one of the things that people usually ask you when you say, I'm Jamaican? Um, any questions?
Oh, absolutely. First thing, Bob Marley, Bob Marley, the king of reggae, the legend. So definitely they compare us to Bob Marley. And also running Usain Bolt is also one of the major draw that people connects Jamaica with. So the running and the food. But then if you go rural where, the Yankees and those guys, then they connotate it to what, which is legal in Massachusetts that they pass, which is the weed. So, that's some link connection to that also that
Okay.
they mention in the rural areas where the white folks, those white Yankee guys will love their reggae music, their roots reggae and those kind of stuff.
So you actually have a story when they say, do you know Usain Bolt or are you related? You can actually say, yes.
Yes, absolutely. Although sometimes they say lie.
uh, no, in terms of visiting Boston or visiting Massachusetts, what would you say is the one thing you'd recommend that someone do when they come there? Maybe, you say, Xavier, come to this event. If you're coming, come this time of the year at this event. Or you may say, visit this place or visit this museum, or the sunset looks awesome on during the summer here. What would that one thing be?
Well, I always say the Freedom Trail because the history of Massachusetts is what draws a lot of tourists. And we have tourists from all over the world coming to Massachusetts to see the Freedom Trail. And the Freedom Trail gives you an history of when the Constitution started, all those colonial people was involved and their burial ground. It gives you the historical buildings, and it also gives you the trail where all the areas are located. So from Back Bay to the Constitution, which is the ship, that old ship, the Constitution, over by Charlestown, where you have the various you know pirates
Okay.
and statement that are joined. And then another thing that they talk about that people always come to is Salem, which is involved in the witch. Salem the witch, because
Mm.
Halloween is celebrated big here in Massachusetts along with St. Patrick's Day because we have such a large Irish population, which also connects to the Caribbean and connects to Jamaica in terms of we drink Guinness, and Massachusetts people love Guinness also because of the Irish influence. So
I
Freedom
see.
Trail is one thing
Right.
that I
Do it
suggest
again.
anyone who comes to see it, and you could do up on tour that do the Freedom Trail.
All right. Listen, Andrew, thank you for taking some time out of your busy day to give us just a brief insight on the Massachusetts Boston area. So here's a scenario. You land in Jamaica, you get out the airport. What is that one thing that you're doing when you get out the airport? Well, some people it's food, some people it's a dip, some people it's a coconut water. So what is that one thing you have to do?
Oh my goodness, me have to have a patty and cocoa bread. Pasties, patty and cocoa bread or juicy beef, whichever one of them, but definitely the patty,
All
which is
right.
totally different than America, you know, the original patty and cocoa bread.
Last thing, what would be your advice to anyone that's thinking to move into the Massachusetts Boston area?
Well, for me, why I came here is higher education. Um, Education is so important for all of us, and mass is something that I recommend anyone who is moving here sign up for education to study. Right now in Massachusetts, our governor passed a law that if you're over 25 years old, you get free tuition to study. So education is the key if you're moving, sign up. There's plenty workshop, there's plenty courses that you can do. You could advance in your higher education if you need to. If you have an associate and you want to go up to a PhD, it's possible in Massachusetts because schooling here we have so many universities. As I say, Harvard, MIT, Boston University, so many different areas that you could go. You could engineering or the arts. We have Berkeley School of Music if you want to advance. If you're a singer, I always say if you're a musician, it's good to have your degree because we do have Berkeley School of Music that provides the degree in music, in
Okay.
becoming a trumpet or a singer or whatever. So that's the whole trust of Massachusetts is education, and that's why I love living here for that.
Listen, you're a walking tourist board for that for Massachusetts area. Yeah, definitely. Well, Andrew, thank you again. I don't know what's your favorite way of saying goodbye, but I would say a little more, my friend.
Well, I can delete Louise Bennett Coverley. Walk good. I make good duppy follow you.
All right. All good.